We're going to run it the same way we have all
recording in progress.
Record it, and if you have, I know a few of you sometimes have asked if you can record as well, so if you put those through, we can approve them. Same format as usual. What we're going to do is have the different agencies who are participating in the wildfire response in the Peace region give you an update. There will be an opportunity for you to ask questions of them, and ideally if you could focus your questions on their area of the response, because we will go through the different agencies who are here today. So we have, I'm going to do some introductions so you can meet. We've got some new people joining us today from BC Wildfire Service, so I'm going to be introducing them. And if you have questions, if possible, please use the raise hand feature within Zoom. It makes it much easier to make sure that I see it when it pops up, because there are several people on this call. At the same time, if for some reason your wave hand isn't working, and you can always put something in the chat, or you can always take your video, turn it on and wave at me, you know, and then there might be a chance that we'll see you that way, or just speak up if nothing else works. But so far, everybody's been able to use the raise hand feature, so I think we should be good. So with that, I'm going to make some introductions. So just one second, we've got someone else joining us here, so we're bringing in a new person. Okay, great. So if my agency representatives could just wave a hand when I introduce you, that would be really, really great for everybody else who's on the call. So we have from the BC Wildfire Service, the Northeast Complex, Hannah Swift, the Information Officer, is here today to present. I also have a representative from BC Wildfire Service at our new Donnie Creek Complex, and that is Paula Wallbauer. If you could give your, there you go, thank you, Paula. Ryan Harvey is also here from Fort St. John. And we will have our EOC Director, Mike Watkins. He will join us in a bit. He's not able to join us just yet, so he's going to give his presentation at the end. So I think that's all of our special guests right now. If we could get going then. Do you mind, Hannah, taking the first run at it to provide a briefing on the Northeast Complex update?
Thanks, Trace. All right, my name is Hannah Swift, and I'm a Fire Information Officer with the BC Wildfire Service, and I'm currently working with the Incident Command team that's assigned to the North Peace Complex. So that includes the Stoddart Creek Wildfire, the Red Creek Wildfire, the Cameron River Wildfire, and the Boundary Lake Wildfire. So I'll provide an update on each one of those, and I'll just start with sort of overall resources that we have at the complex at this time. So currently we have just over 600 personnel responding to these 4 incidents in this area. That includes 358 firefighters, as well as 152 structure protection personnel, as well as 49 pieces of heavy equipment and operators, many of them locals from the area. In addition, we have 64 incident management team personnel and support staff, and that number is a bit of a surge right now just because today we are turning over with an incoming incident management team who will be taking over the command of this complex beginning this evening. We still have the 20 helicopters assigned to this complex that are servicing all 4 fires and supporting our crews on the ground as required. And we do move resources around based on values at risk and current and forecast conditions. So currently the weather on site is similar to yesterday. We're seeing typical winds for this region, which is winds out of the southeast. So predominant growth that we're seeing is in the north and to the northwest area of the fire. That area does continue to be quite aggressive fire behavior in parts. However, we are quite tampered in by smoke today, so it's not quite as hot on site as it would otherwise be without the smoke in the area. So we are benefiting from the smoke in that regard. However, it is very low visibility, so our aircraft have been unable to get up in the sky today. We're looking at 25-foot visibility right now, so we don't have those eyes in the sky and the support from the air, but the fire behavior is tampered a little bit by that smoke as well. So for tomorrow, we're looking at a bit of a low coming over the Northwest Territories, and so that's going to bring another potential shift in winds, which may bring north winds to the region again, but it's nothing like the winds that we saw on Monday evening when we had the substantial growth. These ones are looking like they're going to be much more minor, although they will be coming from the north, so we are bolstering our supports on the south and southeast perimeters of the fire in anticipation for those northerly winds. And then looking into Saturday and into Sunday, we're seeing our models forecasting a bit of a ridge breakdown, so that could bring some potential rain showers. But with that, thunderstorms and lightning as well as gusty winds. But exact details are yet to be resolved in the modeling, so we'll have more details on that hopefully by tomorrow. So I'll start with the Stoddart Creek wildfire, which we currently have estimated at 22,067 hectares in size. We currently have 121 firefighters working on that fire during the day, as well as 48 firefighters working through the night. That's in addition to the structure protection personnel who are also working 24/7 around the clock right now. The fire growth over the past 24 hours has predominantly been observed to the north and to the northwest, and that's driven by winds from the southeast, as well as the fuel type in that area of the fire. There was a significant windstorm in 2020, and so there's a lot of blowdown there and lots of fuel for the fire to consume, as well as it is a spruce fuel type, and so it's very conducive to fire behavior. Yesterday on site, we did conduct a planned ignition operation, and that removed approximately 300 hectares of unburned fuels off of Highway 97 just south of the Shepherd's Inn. And so that ignition secured that area of the fire, which was previously inaccessible to crews, and it was threatening infrastructure along that area. So crews are now able to work along the edge of the fire from the road. So on site today, crews are working on all flanks of the fire to just establish and improve containment lines that are in place. And we have a heavy equipment task force working on control lines, like I said, to the north and to the northwest to try to get ahead of the problem area that we're seeing in that area of the fire. In the north and in the northwest, those containment lines that are going in are in preparation for a potential larger scale planned ignition that may take place tomorrow should our conditions be favorable. With the winds that we're going to be seeing from the north, that will help with ignition operations in that area. In the morning, we're seeing winds from the northwest, and then it'll shift slowly through the day and then out of the northeast. So it would really help with the ignitions in that area should other conditions be favorable, such as temperature and relative humidities on site. We are doing some forward planning for some contingency lines further out from the fire perimeter, and those are just secondary lines should we see any significant growth that challenges the control lines that we are building closer to the perimeter of the fire. Moving on to the Red Creek wildfire, that one still has not grown over the past 72 hours, so we do still have that one currently estimated at 2,947 hectares. We still have 47 firefighters working on that wildfire, and we do have them just working throughout the perimeter of the fire to strengthen the containment that we have. What we're seeing with these fires is with the drought conditions, the fire is burning very, very deep into the ground. And so it does take extra time and extra effort to really dig deep and extinguish all of the residual heat that still remains within 100 feet of the fire perimeter. So it's just going to take some time, but we'll keep staffing that fire until we feel more comfortable with all the heat that's still on the outer skirts of the fire. Moving on to the Cameron River wildfire. That one's currently estimated at 385 hectares. So we did see 33 hectares of growth over the evening of May 16th when we had those strong winds on Monday night. And that's the result of those two excursions in the northwest and the southwest corners of the fire. So the rest of the perimeter is looking very secure, and crews are feeling much more comfortable with those excursions that took place. We do have heavy machine guard around those two excursions, and crews are just continuing to extinguish. It did get into some cut blocks, so it is quite a bit of work to mop that up and get all the heat out of there. So we still have 30 staff assigned to that fire, as well as some heavy equipment. And then the Boundary Lake wildfire, no changes to this one. Over the last 72 hours, it's still classified as being held. And again, it's still not likely to grow beyond the predetermined boundaries under the prevailing conditions. So that one's no longer a wildfire of note, but there's still people in the area. So I'll just keep mentioning that one. So that's all the updates I have for today for the North Peace complex. And like I said at the beginning, we are transitioning with a new incident management team today. And so tomorrow you'll see some new faces, and they will be managing the incidents going forward. And I will pause there for questions.
Thank you, Hannah. Does anyone have any questions for Hannah about the fires in the North Peace complex? Spencer.
Hello, can everyone hear me? Excellent. My question, much like yesterday, is about any potential structure damage. Have you received any reports, or do we know anything at this point?
Yeah, so to date, I have had no reports of any damaged structures from the Stoddard Creek or the Red Creek wildfire.
Thank you.
Thanks, Spencer. Are there any other questions for Hannah? All right then. Paula, that's your cue. If you would like to give an update on the Donnie Creek complex, please.
Thank you. So our team is settling in. Can you hear me first? I should ask that, please. Perfect. All right. Our team is settling in at the Donnie Creek complex and gaining further situational awareness. Yesterday was the first day that we were actually able to get visuals on the fires from the air. Before that, due to poor visibility and challenges, we estimated that we were able to get within 5 to 10 kilometers of the fire's edge. So that has been a challenge for us. Our incident staff are working with our industry partners and our First Nations and local governments to manage this assigned complex of modified response fires. Our focus right now is protecting priority 1 and 2 values, which are human life, property, and infrastructure, and limiting impacts to our local industry. We currently have 5 helicopters on our fire and 7 structure protection personnel, 10 incident management team personnel, and 4 additional resources on this fire at this moment. So not as large as the North Peace complex at this moment, as we're just getting settled in. I can show a map and update you on each of the fires. I'll just see. Oh, I can't share my screen. Okay, that's okay.
We can make it available for you to share. One moment.
Sure.
Try again, see if that worked.
Sure. All right, are you able to see that?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So I was just going to go through the fires, starting over here on the top left, which is the G090292, which is our Musqueam River wildfire. This wildfire is 1,644 hectares and is currently in North Rockies Regional Municipality, and is challenged by terrain. This next, I'm just circling this next fire next to the Kluwa Lakes protected area and our Prophet River First Nation. This is the Kluwa Lakes wildfire, and it is estimated at 17,299 hectares. We are aware of some protected values within the Kluwa Lakes protected area as well. And I'm sure, as everyone knows, Prophet River is without power at this time, as well as Fort Nelson. So as we make our way down to the Donnie Creek fire, it is estimated at 51,000 hectares. And that fire, we know all of our fires are, I'm just estimating those fire growths. We've seen increased fire behavior today. As Hannah mentioned, with our southeast winds, we're noticing growth between our fires and also in the north and northeast areas. So we're seeing rank 3, 4, and 5 on the fires that are in our southern region. So these fires in the southern region, we're seeing increased growth today. On the Donnie Creek fire, we do have a planned ignition for this afternoon that's pretty much happening as we're on this call. This will be where my cursor is, on the southern end of the Donnie Creek wildfire, to hopefully prevent further growth southward. So that's happening today. These 2 wildfires, so this one, the 2874, so that's the Kataw Creek, and this 315, it's now become one fire. So we're estimating that at 24,000 hectares, and we're going to be back to just using this one particular fire number and just calling it the Kacha Creek. So they're not too separate at the moment. With our increased fire behavior, we're not exactly sure if this fire in the center that you guys can see, which is our West Conroy Creek wildfire, we're definitely seeing increased growth. That one is at 5,000 hectares, but we're unsure whether or not it has also grown to attach to the Kacha Creek wildfire. So as I said, planned ignition at the bottom of Donnie Creek wildfire, that will be happening today. And then, you know, as tomorrow we'll assess as to whether they may be coming down to this lower part, and I can update that tomorrow if we're going to be seeing some more planned ignitions tomorrow. We are working on working with our industry partners, getting heavy equipment into this area, as well as we have a unit crew arriving tonight and tomorrow. So more personnel will be on our fire in the next couple of days, and we'll certainly keep you updated on that. And I think that is all I have. I'm sure you have questions. I'm not sure if I should or not. I can stop sharing.
Thank you, Paula. That's fabulous. Does anyone have any questions for Paula about the Donnie Creek complex area? Spencer, would you like to go ahead?
Thank you. This may not be a question for Paula, but do we know how many companies have operations in these areas as well as properties for residents?
I definitely say that would be a difficult question to answer. We certainly are liaison and having a liaison with our industry partners from oil and gas. And so they have identified those industry partners who have plants and or operations in our area, and we're definitely working with those partners so that they're aware. Obviously they're aware of the evacuation orders and alerts, and we're working closely with them to identify their values.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
I'm going to redirect it to Mike as well, because he can just give a couple of examples of some of the industry up there.
Yeah, there's a mix of different types of users up there. There's oil and gas industry. There's also a couple forestry companies that work in the area, and also some tourism users, which currently would not be in the area because it's on order.
Sorry, Teresa, if you're talking to me, I think you're on mute.
Oh, I'm talking and nobody can hear me. Sorry. I'm going to let Ryan know that. Ryan, if you're available, would you want to give an update on ESS and Fort St. John? Sorry about that, guys.
Absolutely, no problem. So just a couple things before I get into ESS stuff. Just a reminder that the city of Fort St. John is not currently under threat from any of the wildfires. And so our alert remains off as it was as of yesterday. And I know it's quite smoky in here today, but the majority of that smoke is actually blowing in from the wildfires in Alberta. And so people should rest a bit easy in the community, and we'll continue to support all of those residents in the regional district who are currently evacuated, and we certainly feel for them. Just regarding the smoke, make sure, obviously it's fairly impactful to your health. So if you can limit its impacts, here's some things you can do. Reduce or stop your physical activities, limit your time outdoors, drink plenty of water, use portable HEPA air filters to improve indoor air quality, watch for signs of health impacts such as shortness of breath or chest pain, and monitor the air quality index, making sure that we get through this time. The city of Fort St. John will follow the Prince George Fire Center in enacting a campfire ban. So that'll mean all open fires will not be permitted inside the city beginning at noon tomorrow, in alignment with the BC Wildfire Service. Also, you can learn more on the city's website on that. As for emergency support services and our reception center here at the North Peace Arena, we continue to be fairly busy as we have been over the last several days with now being able to register evacuees. We are closing today at 5 p.m. We'll be open again tomorrow from 1 till 5 p.m. We will be closed on Saturday. That will be May the 20th to give our staff and volunteers a day off. We'll be open both Sunday and Monday from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. And we are looking for additional volunteers. So if you are able to help on Sunday from 11 till 3, if you're able to help there, we ask that you come join us at 10 a.m. on Sunday for some training before we open the doors at 11. So for anybody that is looking to volunteer, we can certainly use some help. We will be reaching out to those who have filled out the form on our website to provide that information. Also, if you can't make it then, but would still like to be on the list to help volunteer in the future, please do complete the volunteer form on the City of Fort St. John's website. And I will take any questions.
Thank you, Ryan. Are there any questions for Ryan? All right, you covered so much good information, Ryan. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask if our EOC Director, Mike Watkins, can take over.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to state that there have been no changes to our areas under order or alert at this point. These situations are very dynamic, both when we're increasing the size of an order or declaring a new one, and when we're taking them down. So I'd encourage everybody to keep in touch with the latest news by visiting our website at PRRD.BC.ca. Just some stats. At the moment, we have 1,296 civic addresses or properties remaining on order within the region, and 623 properties are on alert. And that encompasses an area of roughly 21,455 hectares for the Stoddard Creek and Red Creek fires. Just to reiterate our ESS message, we've asked that those who are already evacuated remain where they are. If you're receiving services in any of the communities, please remain there. What else do I have for you today? In addition to the Fort St. John hours, I also have Dawson Creek's hours for today are 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And again, visit our website at prrd.bc.ca in order to find out the latest hours for tomorrow. We try to get those posted first thing in the morning so that they can be available to you. Last but not least, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out what this sign behind me is referring to. The PRRD across the entire region maintains an alerting system in conjunction with our other community partners. You can get messages tailored to your specific location or for the whole region, and that can be found. You can sign up on that at nebcalerts.com. And it's a free service and extremely useful in helping us notify you in the case of an emergency. And with that, I'll turn it back to you.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Mike?
No questions for me because I have no good news to offer today. Maybe tomorrow.
All right. So all I've got then is I will give you a bit of an update where the Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure has asked me if I can give you a bit of information on their behalf, which of course I'm happy to do. So the update from the ministry is that they are continuing to work with the Peace River Regional District, Emergency Management, the RCMP and Wildfire to provide traffic control and staging for equipment. The drivers are advised to check Drive BC, that's www.drivebc.ca, for the most up-to-date information on road conditions and closures in the area. The Highway 97 is fully open with intermittent single lane and alternating traffic for wildfire response activities. So that's along the Beaton Airport section, approximately 44 kilometers north of Fort St. John. The ministry's received some reports that some mobile app applications are actually providing inaccurate directions to drivers about traveling through the area. So we do want to encourage drivers to check Drive BC as the most up-to-date information on road conditions and closures in the area. Also wanted to flag for you on Highway 97, there are reduced speed areas present along the laydown areas. So it's 70 kilometers an hour from Evergreen Subdivision to mile 70, to mile 80, and 50 kilometers at Red Creek, the laydown area there. So drivers can expect minor delays because there are crews working in the area, and to please use extra caution. Some of the side roads, we have closures in effect on Red Creek Road, Lower Cache Road, and Beaton River Airport Road. There's detours, there's signage and traffic control in place. And the detour available for the Beaton River Airport Road is via 271 Road, Rose Prairie Road, which is also sometimes called Road 101, and Presbyterian Road. So that's the update for you. And I unfortunately can't answer any questions beyond just giving you the update on that one. So I'm just going to check back with everybody to see, are there any outstanding questions that the media have for any of our speakers here today? Not seeing any hands, so that's great. We will wrap this up and hold another one tomorrow. Take care, everybody.